look in the eyes of my brother
4, 3,
without shedding a
2.
tear.
I had to be an asshole, man.
It's all good. I activated it. We good now. I'm activated.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. It's the mother fucking 100th episode. Oh. Little John noises. Little John noises. Batman Scoop. Timberland. Oh man, we hitting the milestone, and you have been with us for however long you've been with us, and we appreciate you so goddamn much.
Right.
All this forthrightness, all this vulnerabilities, and what I assume have been majorly honest. If not completely. My name is Josh. We got Brother Johnson.
What's up?
Producer extraordinaire. We got the star of Disney Channel original Brink 3.
There we go.
A-Dub in the building.
My man. What up, y'all? Just trying to keep it mean and clean. Just trying to keep the hairline mean and clean.
He's about to golf on Neptune. He's ahead of you bitches.
Hey, as long as this red light turn on, we good to go, baby.
That's for you, those of you who watch it on YouTube. If you're not, Aaron's wearing a cap of a brand that I don't remember the name of, and we're not gonna say because but it's to restore his I believe he said fleeting hairline. And if you know anything about niggas, that hairline is very, very important.
This is true. It's been running from me since the high school days. I'm gonna catch it though. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to catch it.
Hairline been treating him like a Far Side song. Hey yo, and so
ching, we call that a knee slapper, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, we appreciate y'all. We love you, and to the next 100 episodes. So as we're on this journey together, fellas, do you have any particular memories of the last 100 episodes, the last 2.5 years that we've been recording? Because we started summer of 2020, I think it was.
It was like May.
Spring. Yeah,
spring. Right? Spring. Okay.
It's like the beginning of May.
Beginning of May. So beginning. I don't know what that word is.
My man been collecting different cheeses. I see your charcuterie board. There we go. Got to take it back to a previous episode.
That's just like, so we got memories of. I enjoyed a lot of our music talks, even though they were too long. I enjoyed the arguments that we got to have of whatever country foolishness that Aaron had us listen to, or whatever rock things that I got him to listen to that he didn't care for. That meanwhile, me and Adam were going, "The System of a Down song. This album is a classic."
Yeah.
Hey man, one man's trash. That's another man's glory, apparently. I tip my dome to you, man. Tip my helmet. You know what I'm saying?
I all the guests that we've had on, shout out to all of them. Felly, Winter, what was Homegirl? That was our first guest ever.
Nautica.
Was she the first one?
Nautica Taylor.
Yep.
Yes.
A T.
Yeah, shout out to her in that movie that nobody saw. And,
I ain't gonna front though. I inquired about it with her though. You know, I inquired, man. I showed interest. I did my part, bro.
Man, you wasn't interested in that movie, dog. You was interested in her.
Yeah, I'll be in them DMs every so often.
It's called spade to spade when you're trying to shoot up the club.
Yes, indeed. I do. Yeah. You know, every month or so, I give her a healthy amount of reactions on social media.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Shout out to her. I'm just joking. I don't know nothing about that movie.
Exactly.
Please come on our podcast.
You just reiterated. You just reiterated. In a more pleasant way, more digestible way. He just landed a little bit softer with the same fucking sentiment. Man. Oh man.
But
it wasn't a smack. It wasn't a smack hold around the world. It was he just landed a little softer, so we just heard around the block. You know, it was just heard around the block. Oh man.
Shout out to Marcus, Uno Connoisseur. Shout out to Penny. And all the guests that we've had over the years. We really appreciate you. Sorry if I'm forgetting anybody in this current moment. Yeah, it's been a fun ride. It's been a fun ride. Fluctuations in listenership. I'm cool with everything is always going to be peaks and valleys, as that actor said on that actors roundtable that I did not watch the whole episode of.
Shout out to that show though.
I don't know if y'all saw the clip, but it was a profound statement. He was like, I really want more control of my life. And his therapist told him, if you're looking at an EKG or whatever the thing that beeps on for you in the hospital, it's always going to go up and down, and that lets you know you're living. Because if it goes in the middle, you're dead. And so life has constantly taught you that your highs and your lows have endings, and it's going to go to the other end at some point. And so, you can't live in your highs for too long, and you can't be broken down by your lows for too long either, because you've proven that you're going to make it out of each or either. And so, yeah.
That's exactly how I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just talking about that. I talk about it all the time, actually, with my wife, but Kirsten. But yeah, that's how I kind of view everything. Like, so even if I am going through like a rougher phase, I'm like, yeah, it sucks, but I never harp on it because I know it's going to end. It's just a matter of when. So because it always does. It never. You're never just consistently. Well, I can't say you're never, but I've never been consistently in a bad place as long as I've been alive. So I figure it'll end eventually. I typically got to do something about it. You can't just,
it's not just gonna change.
Yeah.
But just because you're in a rough patch doesn't mean that the work you're doing isn't contributing to whatever better circumstances are in the future or whatnot. I could speak to having both experiences where I know that to be true, that highs and lows will always fluctuate. But these past couple of years, depression's been whooping my ass. I ain't gonna act like it hadn't been. And so when you feeling in them particular lows, I don't think that was what Yin Yang Twins was singing about when they like it'd be low. It's like or what's his name that just won $83 million in the
Flow Rider.
Flow Rider.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I saw you won a lawsuit. I didn't know why or like what happened between them, but I didn't.
I didn't see what the actual thing was. I just saw it.
He was not going to make that in music, though. Not coming out with that joint. He was not going to make that in music. Shout out to him. I saw him at the Atlanta airport recently, actually.
To my knowledge, that's T-Pain's biggest song. Like his most his song that made the most money.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so if that's what I'm like. If that's T-Pain's biggest song, then I think Flow Rider might have come out of that pretty well off.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah.
So is that what he sued because of some type of like?
I think it was
somebody was stealing something.
I think it was something about that where maybe his image or his music got used and he didn't get his royalties from it or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. Go read up on that shit. Google.
83 million. Damn. I guess I'll be seeing that man in the first class Delta line a lot more often, huh? Yeah.
It'd be more cases of that than you realize. Like listening to Chameleonaire on something and him being like, yeah, once I saw how like fucked up the music industry was, he pivoted into technology.
Yep.
And you're like, who knew?
Yeah.
Ray J too, man. Ray J and Soulja Boy, the first to do everything.
Like it's so much easier to make money when you already have it. You know, like, and if you have like a name behind it, you can sign your name and you get money. It's like, and I'm not saying they didn't work for it, but
I know
but you can use the money that you've already earned, even if it's not millions and millions of dollars. You know, because I'm pretty sure, you know, those guys. Well, Flow Rider probably, because he's been actually pretty huge. Not, you know, in my library necessarily, but I know he does make these pop songs that white folks love. So I mean,
like stadium anthems. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Who knew? I did.
Yeah, he's pretty big. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But
I think you were pretty much saying like it's a lot easier to make more money when you already have some money.
Yeah, because you can invest in different things, and you know,
right?
Like, it's just,
you can take more chances. You can, it's you got to have money to make money.
I think I've heard several different, you know, business folks who are well respected for for whatever reason within business say something similar like after like the first 100,000 is the hardest to make, and then it's not that hard from 100,000 to 1 million, or the first million is the hardest to make, and after you make that first million, it's not that hard. The road to 10 million is not as hard. So yeah, it's definitely
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's things out there where you can put money into, and you know it's going to come back. It's like it's a guarantee. Now, how much is one thing, but it's like if you only make, you know, $20,000 a year working at Best Buy, it's hard to grow that. You know?
Right.
Or it just takes a lot longer. You're not able to put as large of a sum in, you know.
It's a lot longer is an understatement.
Like 50 years. Yeah. That's what
I'm saying. Like, what was it? I was listening to something and Chick was talking about she's been with some guys that'll spend $30K in a strip club. And I go, why? I love cheeks as much as the next person, but my God, 30 bands for cheeks?
Yeah.
Talented cheeks, but cheeks?
Yeah. I remember talking to the Fidelity guy when I was like a Fidelity representative. Asking them questions, because I got an account and I was like, all right, well, right now I can afford to put like 240 in a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then it's like for my IRA for like that I won't touch it. I'm like 70, 80.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay, that's fine. But let me tell you how much you can have if you put 1,000 in a month. I'm like, bro, that's not. I didn't ask you that question.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Right,
it's good motivation. But the first question you asked me when I got on this phone call was, how much can I realistically spend?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it was nice to hear that I could make millions more if I just put hundreds more. Thanks, man.
Like, what do you? Where did you think I was? Oh, you know what? You have that's a great idea. If I told you less than $300 and your next number was 1,000,
it's up to 75%.
Yeah. I was like, man, I thought I was doing pretty good for almost 300 a month. That's not bad, man. But
so
anyway,
do y'all have any particular like memories and highlights or things from these past 100 episodes that really have stuck with you?
I do. There was this episode. In fact, we were talking about like people that were on. I'm almost positive it was the episode that Winter was on. And we were talking about our like funny or bad job experiences. And that episode stands out because Marcus told
something about a sandwich.
Well, no, he told two stories that I just could not stop laughing. One was he had like the job interview where like he took the beer or something like that. Like they had the beer in the fridge. And he took it.
On his way out,
But the reason what made it so funny because I had an interview that was kind of the same, not with the beer, but like how it felt like they were trying to sell you the job versus interview. It was like like it felt scammy almost.
Mm-hmm.
So it resonated in that sense. And then the other story was he was talking about him and Ebony went to some like some circus, but it was like some haunted circus or some weird circus in the parking lot. I don't know, but it just stands out. It just stands out to me. And it just I remember it being absolutely hilarious. I'm sure there's some other funny moments I'll think of, but that episode was really funny to me.
That's real. How about you, A-Dub?
Yeah, man. Once again, I missed that episode.
Yeah.
Definitely would love to have her on again, man.
That'd be great. She's doing some great things.
Oh, for sure. Let's see, man. One of my favorite highlights, not necessarily an episode, just the compilation that Adam put together for the That's What She Said joint.
That's what she said.
It's my absolute favorite, bro. That's my absolute. I want to fucking repost that shit every month. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Just because it's amazing. Let's see. I know there was one, man. Actually, I really enjoyed. Was it our very first one? I think it was our very first one where we all had some great reviews, like the music reviews. Our very first audio file episode.
Okay.
Maybe it was because I have such fond memories of like the music everybody was sharing too. Then it was just like it was on another level for me. Anyway, I just remember really enjoying it. That's why I was giving such great reviews, because I like, my heart was in it. Like the sky's the limit. So you'll do anything unless your heart's in it. Real dog. I love that one. It was nice to see my bro on too. It was nice to have Chris on.
It was great having Chris on. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good just the conversation about. I think you were talking about. Were we talking about like unexpected things happening, or like just being vulnerable with somebody? He told that story about that lady who sat next to him, and originally he wasn't going to talk to her, but it ended up being a wonderful conversation and just opening up. I really enjoyed that topic, man. That was really good. Yeah, solid, bro. Solid. But that compilation beats everything, yo. That shit reigns supreme. That shit reigns supreme, yo.
Absolutely. Trying to think. So, what would you say? When we talk about like these high points that you remember, can you remember any particular times on the podcast that were like rougher for you, or that you didn't care for, or things of that nature? Like I don't even know if this is one that we actually aired, but I always think about that. I think there was one time me and Aaron got into a little kerfuffle.
One time?
There have been a few.
Adam and Marcus, or Adam or Marcus, whoever's there, is just like, okay.
It's good to me.
Yo, somebody come on and bring another. Yo, somebody bring another fucking topic in, please. Quick.
I don't remember all of them. I think this one in particular, I know we were arguing about like Miley Cyrus and Justin Timberlake and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I wonder if that one got it. Yo, that was early on. I remember we were still recording on our phones.
Yeah, that was back in them Anchor days. Shout out to Anchor.
And I was like fresh out of a flip phone, so I don't even know if my shit sounded good.
Fine,
but it's those conversations. So not even say that one specifically, but those points in our conversations where I go, I don't know myself to frequent, or not even frequent, like to care for verbal disagreement in that, like with that kind of fervor. But as uncomfortable as those were for me, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of those things, like those are really, really uncomfortable, but I can have appreciation for them, even though I didn't necessarily care for while we were in it.
No, oh, definitely. I can definitely. I can definitely agree with those sentiments, man.
That's that
those
Gary
are probably,
accent.
yeah, man. Valparaiso don't change. You can't bring the hood out of me, man. You get in Valpo, it don't matter, son. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's definitely uncomfortable, but I was gonna say the same thing. Like, one, I as you were saying, I appreciate them. I think it makes it. I like that I said this before too. I like that we're not just for guys or friends agreeing on every fucking thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way we'd be forthright, vulnerable, and honest if we were doing that.
If we'd never had any conflicts in 100 episodes, absolutely.
Exactly. And also, too, I remember us having conversations before we started this fucking podcast, and we were talking about we were just bouncing ideas. I remember being in like New Mexico, I think, or something. We're like all on the phone together, bouncing ideas, and like I'm in a notebook, jotting notes down and shit, and like saying something like, I appreciate the fact that like we can have that because it just like the comfort level of being vulnerable and expressing that level of like honesty, and that can be triggers for yourself or others, and just the space to do that is wonderful, man. The space to do it is wonderful. Obviously, the intentions aren't to harm or hurt. It is just to be forthright, vulnerable, and honest, and you give your other castmates the same space to do that as well, man. It's wonderful. I've always appreciated that. So,
because I'm of the camp that I don't necessarily know that I care for the idea of agree to disagree. Oh, we'll finish the session. Woo!
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, nope. No.
Ain't finished the treatment. We mid-treatment. But no, I don't agree with the expression agree to disagree. I think it's fundamentally flawed, but I can appreciate when if you reach an impasse in an argument, then that's what it is. Like that's just a circumstance. Like, okay, we've hit a stalemate because it's just what it is. But that doesn't mean like the argument is invalidated or people are just talking for the fuck of talking.
Yes, and I think when people say I agree to disagree, some of the time they mean it how you said it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do think I can't say all the time. I don't know for a lot of people. Sometimes it's just an argument. You don't give a fuck about the other person's opinion, probably.
Because that's often the case. Is like, in those levels of arguments, it just depends on the subject matter. But a lot of times people you're not arguing the logic of the situation. You're just arguing your case.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the other person is likely not to change their mind anyway.
Right.
So for me, the whole like agree to disagree, for me at least, if I've ever used it, it was probably the more so like, look, I don't feel like talking to you anymore, so let's just move on. I think that's how most people use it. Like, you're not gonna change your mind, I'm not gonna change yours. Next time, I think that's kind of like, honestly, that's how I've used it. So
yeah, I guess I think when I've used it, I just didn't have any. I think I was at a loss for words. Like I had maybe explained my
exhausted your
perspective. I've explained my perspective to the best of my ability. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't. I don't know. Definitely, there's definitely been times when I've been like, yo, I know I felt for sure with people like I genuinely don't give a fuck about what. I think that the issue is I just told them that directly. It shouldn't have come out that way. I was just like, no, I don't give a fuck anymore. But anyway, on this podcast, I appreciate. I genuinely feel like we're trying to hear. I mean, we might get triggered, we might get angry. Who knows what day we're having that day, or like topics are triggering. It's shit. That's life. But I appreciate the space to do that. I do feel like we're not doing the latter where you're just not giving a fuck. I'm actually trying to understand.
No,
you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I don't, and you don't get that a lot in life, in your everyday life, because motherfuckers living their own life, and I respect it. So it's nice to have a space, a ground where we can do that.
Because it's a weird kind of thing. Not weird, but it's I can't think of the word. But people kind of live in this. People know they're in echo chambers now, but they aren't looking at them as, oh, I'm in this space because we are like-minded, but I do know that other spaces exist, can exist, aren't completely invalid, etc. But they kind of just they make their bubble and they live in their bubble, and anything outside that bubble is
triggering,
demonized. And not to say like there aren't some bubbles that can be, protected, and there's some other bubbles out there that's just fucking dumb. But,
Yeah, man.
Like, if you ever made the statement, like, I think George Santos is an intelligent person, then I know we're not going to agree on too many things.
So I've heard this name, George Santos. Who, like, I don't know who this person is, but I heard the name.
I'm not gonna fret, man. I laughed, but I don't know who it is either. I don't know who it is either, man.
So George Santos is a congressman. I forget what state. I think it's New York. But it might be Florida. I don't know. Don't quote me on that part. But he's a congressman who pretty much lied his entire way into Congress. And he got called out on every part of the lie. He said his family was Jewish and that his family is like from Mexico. He said they survived the Holocaust, but they weren't even in the same country. He said he graduated from a college that he never went to. He said he worked at some organization or business that he never was employed at. Like everything about his entire thing was lies.
When he first decided to run, did anyone inform him of
that they were going to background checks?
Yeah, did anyone inform him of like the road to success, like the road to winning? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. He won.
Yeah.
And it was after winning.
But to lie about the things that are so that I could probably figure out, this is what I'm saying. Somebody who didn't even know who this motherfucker was, but I could figure those things out. To lie about those things are crazy to me.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna read like the cliff notes. He said his grandparents fled the Holocaust. That was a lie. He said his mom.
Santos.
He said his mom.
What?
How many Santos is in Germany?
It literally says there's no sign of Jewish and or Ukrainian heritage and no indication of the name changes along the way.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it said his mom died as a result of 9/11. And I can't read the whole thing, but yeah, he claimed that he was a volleyball star.
That shit's gonna really like those, but the 9/11 and like the Holocaust joints. I'm surprised he's not canceled. That's gonna like really hurt some people who really has some shit go on, you know?
Yeah.
To make that shit up is like disrespectful to folks, man.
He was a part of some major Ponzi scheme. He's wanted, and I think he was already charged, he was charged for fraud in Brazil. Because that's where the fuck he's actually from, I think. What it is.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Stealing the checkbook of a man his mother was working for and spending nearly $700 using a stolen checkbook and a fake name. So literally, he can't go to Brazil because he'll be arrested on the spot.
That's on site.
So he literally, he literally has to stay in Florida or New York, wherever the fuck he is. That motherfucker cannot leave the state.
Yeah. He claimed he was mugged on the way to delivering his rent check.
See, the thing that I saw, like his name around was like someone. I guess he was a drag queen in Brazil or something like that.
That was another. That's the thing that's alleged at this point. They don't really know.
Okay.
He's just pulling at everybody's heartstrings. He's like, I'm all of this shit. I'm all of this shit that people are lying with.
Please nominate me.
Oh my God.
Was it he claimed he lost 4 employees in the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Yo, he turned on the news one day and was like, I'm that, and that.
It's like, yeah, so of course a whole bunch of people are calling up his resignation.
Of course.
I saw some interview of a different senator, some black dude that's a Republican. They said, and black dude was like, I don't believe that other congressmen can call for the resignation of congresspeople. And so I think that's up to their voters. The interviewer was like, didn't you just call for the resignation of Joe Biden?
I'm not saying Trump was the first, crazy politician, because I know he wasn't, but
no.
What he did though was he definitely opened the door just for people just active people. I mean, people are just putting insane at this point. It's like, it's pretty crazy. because at first I'm like, oh, this is going to embolden other like famous people do this, and it has.
Mhm.
But I didn't account for all the just the random folks that are also crazy that I kind of just start running.
Oh, one of my favorite state, I think he was running for governor. I don't remember what his name was, but he said, if you want somebody that's gonna fight for drag queens, guns or something like that, he's like, go hire a crackhead. Like in his actual campaign. I don't know what the fuck it was. I'm not gonna act like I remember the whole commercial. I just remember something he said, if you want such and such and such and such, then go hire a crackhead.
Yeah.
As a campaign slogan.
Yeah, I saw that. I wish I knew what state. It was some southern state, I'm sure, but like Kentucky or I don't know. But yeah, I saw that too. Like I think the argument was like he was trying to like come after folks that are trying to like defund the police, whatever. So he's like, okay, well, if that's the case, the next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead. It's like, okay, obviously you're being ridiculous, and that's not what people mean. But
Louisiana Senator John Kennedy.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, man. Some jokes just aren't meant for office, man. Some shit just isn't meant for office, man.
By jokes, he means people, because some of y'all are jokes.
Yo, do we ever touch on who we'd want if we had to choose a celebrity or some shit or somebody in entertainment who we choose to be president?
Oh, you're jumping with me, because I was gonna say the next 100 episodes. What could be the dream besides the obvious? Our listenership goes 100,000 fold, grows 100,000 fold. Our
100,000 listeners. That's 100,000 listeners. I'm joking.
No. We appreciate all 17 of y'all.
17 strong. Though. We should get some of those Lance Armstrong bracelets. 17 strong.
Who are some of the, like, if we could have celebrities or anything like that, who would you love to have on the podcast?
Great. All right.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna have to go with a Jim Carrey would be one of them. Like a Jim Carrey or a Russell Brand. I could choose either of those two.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they both are just insightful human beings.
Very.
And they seem to be, and they're willing to be vulnerable, I think. So we could ask good questions. Like we could ask questions and they would open up and answer them in such an open and I think they would embrace our questions. And I think, and because of that, they would also ask really good questions of us because they're open and insightful.
It took me a minute, but I'm gonna go with Trevor Noah, and this is why. For one, I stand by this. I think Trevor Noah is the best speaker in Hollywood as far as just speaking, like no prompt, just. I don't think
he can come into any conversation or argument.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone better at that. And then he can also add humor to that, which I think is obviously a skill. Obviously, I think obviously he can interview, so he could ask us some questions. I think I think he's funny. I think him growing up in South Africa also could be insightful, because I know he's told stories, on his show and in the book, but it'd be cool to actually get maybe some more details that, details that he would want to share. I'm not saying he would share them with us, but I would definitely say he would be one person. I'll let you go, Josh. Maybe I think somebody else, but
no. I mean, I'm been sitting over here trying to think. I think had all these people, and then my brain went blank.
That's how it be, man. As soon as you ask the question, it's like, shit, I lost it all.
Just thinking about like our relative brand and just who, like, people I admire and stuff like that. I would kind of love to have, if we can't get both of them, at least get Jesus.
Yeah, probably not get both.
It was like I don't know, you know, their relationship is probably still pretty rocky. I don't know, but like all love to Miro, I would crack up at Jesus all the time in most of those episodes because he's a nerdy dude who's still very hood, and so I just always kind of like related to him in that way.
You got to help me though, because I should have gotten more into them, man. I just for whatever reason
you still
never
can.
could-
All the episodes are still like out there.
Which one is Jesus and which one is Mero?
Jesus is the black one. Miro is the Dominican one.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. I know they had Denzel on it. I watched that clip because Denzel is somewhere. I'm gonna check it out.
And the show and the podcast were just so different from each other, and I appreciate that kind of like versatility. Because you could tell like all the media training and everything really came in when the show was happening, but on the podcast it was utter chaos.
That uncut. It was
like
uncut.
You could tell they were improvising every fucking episode. You don't know if they actually came in there with like, these are the points we're going to talk about. They were making like full skits of characters they made up of like crackheads and Dominican phlebotomist chicks, and like it was a great show.
That's good, man.
Yeah, that's probably a main one.
Let's keep on this topic though. Yeah. I just feel like there's so many people to choose from. It's kind of tough, but we should.
I'm surprised we didn't say somebody in music.
Oh, I figured we was gonna do more than one round. So that's
okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to think of. Like, who makes good music, but also I think would be a good conversationalist.
Well, check it out. I just want to reiterate the what's already been thrown in the hat, and say, my man Trevor Noah, you're right, bro. Like I don't know, like when you said it, like I'll watch. It has such a smooth flow. It always seems genuine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He can infuse humor into anything, and still the point lands. It's still intelligent. I'm like, damn, not everybody could do that. That's incredible, man. I'm talking about every time I see a clip or something, you know, like it's so consistent. It's like, okay, this is really just him.
Yeah,
this motherfucker's just gifted.
That's real. A point of vulnerability. I hate that nigga straight backs. I don't like this research of straight backs for people. I was wondering, since he went so long without cutting his hair, what was going to happen. And when he went that route, I was like, I don't know about this, Trev. I don't know. I get that you are beating white box frequently. Some high quality white box at that, but I don't know about this one, my guy.
Okay, two things. One, are you saying that he has a white wife or fiance or something?
I don't think he's like in any actual like public relationship or anything like that. But I have heard of him linking up with a couple. Like, didn't they say him and Emma Ratajkowski had a thing at one point?
Well, that's all you had to say. So, we can stop right there. We can stop right there. That's top tier. That's top tier. Yo, where the fuck do you go? Where do you go after that? Holy shit! I was also gonna say that. Okay, that's true. There's plenty of places. That's right. Johnson and I are about to have one of my things. 100th episode blowout.
Yo,
fucking fire emoji. That's some that's very much like the Snoop Dogg comment, bro. That's very much like the Snoop Dogg comment. Yo, my second thing I was gonna say is everybody bringing the fucking straight backs back needs to know is that the only person who can really pull them off and will forever be able to pull them off is Pusha T. Pusha T is the only motherfucker who can rock that shit. I want Pusha T to have braids forever, dog. Ever. Forever.
I was gonna say somebody like, I thought you were gonna say somebody like Allen Iverson, just because that was just like his signature for so long.
Right.
What? Yeah, they were like for a minute. I mean, then people started getting like designs then, you know,
Right.
but I feel like he might have made braids popular. I really feel like he did.
Allen
He was
Iverson?
really
Yeah.
influential in that era. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The straight backs, the tattoos, and all of that.
I think he also was one of the first. I wonder if he was one of the first ones to really have those designs or make it cool.
I mean,
Kind
Might have
of.
even been that.
he really could have
Yeah.
been. If not the first, one of
He
the
was
first famous people to do. Like, you know, it's like
right.
somebody's
Right.
always going to do something. But like, for example, when Odell Beckham dyed his hair blonde those years ago, and
Mhm.
everybody was dyeing their hair blonde, you know, young
Mhm.
black
Yeah.
males, the curly, like looking like somebody from NSYNC. Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. That's the
Frosted
first thing I
tips.
thought of for
Yeah.
real, dog. Yeah, that's some late 90s
NSYNC.
joints right there. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to think musically.
Can we just say Will Smith, man? Come on, he won a fucking. He came out with a dope album. He had at least one dope album.
I would say Will Smith, not for his music, but I wouldn't mind Will Smith.
Just talking to Will Smith, I think would be fun.
Yeah.
And him doing his like big space out sentence thing.
Yeah. Yo, that mother. Yeah, dog. He's just also insightful. I think. I feel like he's learned in his life. So. I like that. People who obviously have learned in their life. You know what I'm saying?
I got one. He's not a music person, but Ricky Gervais. Because
hilarious.
That dude cracks me
up.
I
love Ricky. Y'all can have that. I can miss that episode. I got nothing against him. I don't need to be on that episode.
Josh is not trying to see that motherfucker for another 100 episodes.
I mean, here's the thing. If we get big enough that Ricky Gervais will do our podcast, I'll eat these words quickly. Because I think he's great and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how much I'll have to contribute to that conversation.
Okay, I get that. Like for me, like I would want him to honestly to lead the conversation. I would more so because like I know everyone sees him as a polarizing figure, you know, because of the award shows that he's hosted. But at least from my observation, it seems like he's only like, if you want to call it this cruel, I guess, it seems like he's only like that to fellow rich people. But outside of that, he's like a super humble, super nice person. So I think that's an interesting just detail about him because like I said, whenever he used to host award shows, I mean, he was just brutal, you know, really. And if I was a famous person, I would not want to go to those award shows just out of fear. What is this dude gonna say about me? But but like I said, like because you know I follow, well, not so much anymore, but I used to follow him on social media. Not that he did anything wrong or anything, but he just seems to not be that at all, and it's like just this normal everyday life. You know, he's like an animal activist. He's like not at all as polarizing as his, I guess you could say, his character is. You know, his public.
I agree.
Persona is.
Well, I guess I can't say I agree because I don't really know much of him and his outside of Hollywood, but it does seem like most of his jokes, if not all, like land in that direction of like making a mockery of like, why is this always such a big deal? Why the glam, the glitz and glam, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And his show After Death, I think, or
I think it's Afterlife.
Afterlife was really good. And it's it's insightful.
Yeah.
It's like, it's compassionate. It's like compassionate humor, you know, with everyday people, you know, it's just really intelligent, I guess, or like emotionally intelligent, maybe.
It's a very British humor show.
Oh, for sure. And he's rude. He's rude as fuck. But
but I do like that. I like it. It's just one of those weird shows. Like it's just quirky where like it's a drama, it's comedy, it's, you know, it's got all the human emotions throughout it. And I like TV like that's not just a comedy, it's not just action, or it's not just one thing, because it's like humans aren't just one thing. So it's cool to see your shows that make you feel every emotion, even sometimes in one episode, you know.
Exactly,
well, not every emotion,
bro.
But more
I know what you mean, but like I can definitely agree with that. I've grown to really love dramedy sitcoms.
I love dramedy, yeah.
Like drama, and not even really sitcoms, but like I guess dramedies be their own form of sitcom to a degree. Yeah, because I got into like a real deep dramedy bag maybe a few weeks back where I was like, oh, because I like binge watched Ted Lasso, which was fucking great. Then I went into Fleabag, which I think is British. I'm pretty sure it is. And then Atypical, which I watched the majority of.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I really fucking enjoy dramedies.
Yeah, Atypical might be one of, in my opinion, might want to be the better ones out there. I really like Atypical. I haven't seen the latest season, but I really like that show though.
I just started it, but then I got into some other stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta check that one out, man. That's another one of them joints that like everybody's saying it, and I haven't checked it out yet. So I might need to give it a go for sure.
I mainly checked it out because a different podcast I listen to. Here's the thing: Angel Moore works with Kevin on stage on a lot of stuff. She's on it.
Okay,
gotcha. She like almost dates Michael Rappaport for a second, and I'll go like nothing about that makes sense to me because Michael Rappaport often is like a kind of trash person or just an inflammatory person in real life. You forget that he's like a good actor.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm trying to think. I would say on the comedic route, somebody that and maybe it's because sad people sticks together.
True, dog.
I would kind of like to have Gerard Carmichael.
Oh yeah, he'd be great. Like,
oh yeah.
Like I like famous people who at least appear to be deep. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, but people that appear to have more to say than, oh, check out my next movie. Like
agreed.
Like, and he seemed like one of those people that would have something else to say other than check out my next stand-up special. You're right.
Did
y'all watch his? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say something similar. So go ahead. I think I know what you're about to say. So let's get into it.
Did y'all watch any of his Golden Globe stuff?
Oh, okay.
I haven't.
No, I didn't. My bad.
I heard he was the host, right? Or
yeah, he was the host.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issues with him being a host, but I heard he wasn't a good host. What's your take?
What's funny is some people felt like he bombed or whatever. My thing is, there's no way to really be a good host.
That's true. They criticize all the hosts, basically.
Right. If no one remembers that you did it, then you were a good host.
Yeah.
But his opening speech was like, hey, I got asked to do this because I'm Black. That was the opening statement. He was like, I got asked to do this because I'm Black, because I don't know if y'all forgot, we didn't air last year. And they didn't air last year because people realized that in the history of the Golden Globes, or the organization that is the selection committee of the Golden Globes, has never had a Black person on it.
Really?
Wow.
Never.
That's crazy.
Because you're right. I guess there are different things. Like it's easy to think about the Oscars and the Tonys and other things. Like, oh wait, the Golden Globes is different. It stands alone. Right. On its own.
Yeah. It's like the second big. Like it's like the Oscar, the Academy Awards, and Golden Globes. Right. So that's pretty big. That's pretty crazy. I never
they got to fly under the radar because the Oscars kept on getting all this shit about no black nominees.
Yeah.
What nobody, I guess maybe they did have like selection committee people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was like, whoever directed the Golden Globes this year called him up, was like, hey, I want you to do it. And he was like, are you asking me this because I'm Black? He was like, well, I'm not looking at it like that. I was like, which is, the answer was yes. But like, I'm asking you this because I think you're brilliant. I think you're insightful, yada, yada, yada. It was a good thing. And so I know he made some jokes and all that kind of stuff. And I particularly like dry humor. And I think
particularly his.
Yeah. I think his humor is a lot of times, what's the word? It's very conflicted, because I don't think he's trying to be. I know he's trying to be funny because he is a comedian, but he's saying something that's so serious.
Yeah. Like, thing is, I like comedy like that, like because Dave Chappelle is kind of transformed into that. Like he doesn't do like the silly, stories like he used to do, like the Sesame Street bit that he did back, 20 years ago. He doesn't do that type of stuff anymore. It's more so he's just up there talking. And I'm not saying I agree with everything he says, but I do like that style of performance. I would call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would say personally, I don't think I want to see Chappelle when he's just showing up at some place and doing a 3-hour set. Because the other side of that is I don't think Chappelle's writing jokes anymore.
I don't either. No,
I think he's just getting up there and talking.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, now he might write some notes like I'm gonna talk about this, but he's not like, like
he's not working out bits.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which actually, you know what? People say that. Okay, different comedians will practice their bit, so to speak, live. Not like live as in show up
a small club or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, and just practice it with folks. So some people don't actually write. So perhaps that is his version of like, being in the gym, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Shooting his free throws.
I still consider that writing though. People that go to like this comedy club, I still consider it writing.
Yeah, still practice.
Yeah, just like when people like some guy might pick up a guitar and make up a melody. Well, he didn't pick up a pencil, but he still wrote a melody. It's kind of like
he just has
that.
good memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they say that about like Biggie never wrote down a verse or
which is
Jay never wrote down a verse.
Yeah, which I still it's like I know I've heard that so many times, but I still like, how is that possible? I still don't understand how that's possible.
I still feel the same way, bro. I need to know more into his process because the shit can't sound that fucking good.
Yeah.
And you didn't write nothing down.
I think what it is
Are you humming the shit? Are you humming the shit for
I think
2
that's
months?
what it is. I think if you have a really good memory and really good like rhythmic association, then if you're just spending if you're in the recording studio, they have this beat playing for fucking hours.
Yeah.
You're not doing that shit in 15 minutes.
Of course, yeah.
So if you're just constantly going like, okay, I got this part, and you know how to recall shit really easily, then you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And I guess one thing that, a lot of people don't realize is rappers rarely go into a studio and rap a verse beginning to end. They'll rap like 4 lines.
They punching in, yeah.
4 lines, and then the obviously engineer, producer, they're putting it together. Now, of course, when they perform it live, okay, you got to perform a song, and that's what I didn't even know that till like super recently. I mean, like I was watching some video. I don't know what I was watching.
Was it Lupe's video, or he goes through and shows his recording process?
It was about Nas. It was something about Nas, and it was about
masterclass.
Some song. I forgot. Right? It was just some random video. But it was some guy was talking about Nas and one particular song where, like, in fact, I'm not sure how familiar with Nas' like deep cut you with, but there's a song called is it Undying Love? It's one of his storytelling songs, and I want to say no, it's not. It's I Gave You Power, which is basically a gun where he personifies a gun and he takes on like the life of a gun, and he's speaking throughout the song as if he's a gun.
I've heard about this song. I never heard the song.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the first verse of that, apparently, he rapped the entire first verse. No edits, first take. Just he just wrote it in the studio, rapped it, and I actually know where the video was. So DJ Premier does this thing. He has his YouTube channel where he basically talks about old songs that he made, and he just give basically a background story of how this track was made. And that was the song he was talking about, because I guess he produced that song. But anyway, and he was saying basically rappers rarely ever do that. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought, you rap the verse, but I thought that was a neat bit of information.
Yeah, man. It's what is that show called? Because I've seen like shorts. I've seen shorts of it on YouTube with DJ Premier.
I don't remember. I can look it up. It's not.
And I know that Royce the 5'9" has like reposted some of that shit on Instagram too.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he had I remember when he covered
the Prime. Was it Prime or Booker Ryan?
No, I think it was an old song he did, like Boom. I think it's called Boom.
Yes, Boom. Yeah. Which I love that beat. That's it.
It's me too.
Man.
Let's see. What's the show called?
Why do I love like Violent Royce, man? He's insightful, but oh my God, he's
it's called So What's Up.
Yep, that's it.
There we go.
It's good. Man. It's really good. It's well put together.
Mm.
Yeah, it's insightful, man. Like you said, it just some people just know how to give you more in the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fucking, that's what she said. Compilation has begun. Compilation has begun. God damn. That's great, bro. Setting myself up without even trying, man. But that's what makes it so good. By the way, it's funny how like I think we started saying like who we want to see as president, and I feel like for some of these picks, I think it'd be nice to just have conversations with them. I think we went from like that to like people you like
who
to
we
have
want to see as president.
with. Yeah, wasn't that the first original?
I think that's what Aaron was saying, but I think Josh was already thinking of something where we never actually answered the president question.
Gotcha. I didn't hear the president question. What the fuck was that?
So, you responded. That was okay.
I think Aaron was saying like, because before we started this conversation, he was like, what celebrities will we want to see as president?
I thought you said what celebrities we want to see on the podcast. I don't know when we talked about the president.
Because we were talking about like politicians, congressmen and senators and shit.
Oh. Yeah. I ain't hear that at all. I would never vote for Gerard Carmichael as president.
That's why I was like, I'm pretty sure this is because like people just have a good conversation with.
That's how I answered it. That's where it went to. But as far as, but if I'm going to answer the president question, I mean, I would have to really think about that one.
Like that's a very different conversation. President.
I would still go with like insightful people. Like I'm still good with like Will Smith.
I would say Trevor Noah, but he couldn't because he was born in South Africa. But I would actually say Trevor Noah.
Right.
Not that I think.
Good.
And it's not even that I think he would make a good president, but I mean, just based on what I know about him, I think he would at least try to find the right people to put in the cabinet. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm basing it off of. But I agree, bro. There's very few celebrities I think should even think about being a politician. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
You know what? I just want insightful people to get other insightful people who are insightful but knowledgeable experts at whatever whatever is needed, but also insightful. How to deliver it and touch people. Once again, goddamn.
That was gonna be the caveat that I was going. I was like, I don't care how insightful a motherfucker is. Like, do you know how to run some shit?
Yeah,
you could be like, completely done. But as long as you can,
I feel like you could be an expert and not give a fuck about other people, though. You know what I'm saying?
Did you make the shit efficient?
Yeah, I need you to
very much so.
I need you to give a shit about. Because it ain't, things that are efficient aren't always accessible to some people.
So let me when I say efficient, I'm including that. Like I don't find I think if you make something that can function while what's the word I'm looking for? Incomplete making up a word, disconcern of a large majority of people, whether they be of another race, of another class, what have you. Like if you made it so it can function in complete disregard for some large group of people, that's not efficient to me. That's functional. It's not efficient.
Yeah, I agree.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's not with the country. It's not with the country in mind for sure.
And so that's what I mean by efficient. Like I think there's a lot of like, smart motherfuckers out there that I don't necessarily know care about that part of it, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, I don't want to like say that one party is one thing and one's not, but
I don't care about the party.
You could say it. I mean, you could say like a lot of Republicans are experts at whatever it is they do, but based on the policies that they write, they don't care about people. Right. I mean, that's how I look at it. Because there's like a notion that Republicans are dumb in country. I don't necessarily believe that is true across the board, obviously. I just don't. But I still think you can be very smart and not care about people. Like that's
Oh, absolutely.
If I had to say something about both sides, I would go, most likely if you align with Republicans, you probably don't give a fuck about people that aren't immediately accessible to you.
Yeah.
If you align more with Democrats, depending on what your upbringing and background is, especially ethnic background, if you don't challenge Democrats on their performative shit, then you're kind of in the same boat as the other guys.
Yeah.
Because Democrats are performative and Republicans are actionable.
That's true.
True. And man, like these new age Democrats, these days, these young bucks. If you like, you can't even walk in the room and be like, if you have a certain amount of money, don't even fucking don't expect to get any love. So you automatically evil motherfucker, man. So
I don't necessarily
not
believe
everybody.
that,
Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm getting at. You know,
but no, that is a real thing. Of like the whole all billionaires are evil, and I go, that's not untrue. I don't know that you can get $1 billion without doing something borderline evil, even if it is like if you are paying some Tibetan children, half a cent a day to make that lipstick, like
that's part of it.
Still part.
Yeah. I feel that.
I say that all the time.
I can't speak on billionaires. I'm just saying, like, there are people who take it too far. Like no percentage of donation or whatever is good enough, is what I'm saying to some people.
Yeah.
Like nothing you can do is good enough. If you gave 10% of your net worth, you should have gave 50. You know what I'm saying? It's
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go into your community and do something.
Yeah, I was like, those people are most likely just internet trolls who ain't never even seen a soup kitchen, rather less.
But it's a lot of it's motherfuckers out there for real. Yeah. Like even if you have folks who haven't even met a rich person, that's just their idea. You haven't even met any and conversed with any and talked about life with any. That's just what you got going on in your head. So when you meet them, you're not actually meeting the real person. You're meeting this idea you have in your head and probably projecting the shit. I
mean, that's a lot of motherfuckers. It's Nigerians out there that ain't never met American black people, and they're like, you don't trust them niggas over there.
Absolutely, yeah. Forgive me. I'm just touching on what I know. It's kind of evolves to all. That shit's kind of pervades many topics. But
anyways, U.S. government sucks. Happy 100 episodes. Josh still can't hear, and. We appreciate y'all. To another 100 episodes. We hope that you'll rock with us. We hope that you'll like, share, subscribe. If you know you've been listening to us for 100 or any percentage of 100, even if it's only one episode, this is your first episode. Share the stuff. And tell your friends about it. Be like, hey, I know you be listening to podcasts that, read stories to you, or they talk about the same 12 things that everybody else talked about in the media. How about you listen to these dudes? They a little obscure. They're a little informal, but motherfuckers are funny. Yeah, they're insightful.
A little less hairline. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay.
For what we lack in hairline, we make up in heart.
Yo, this is why we got this motherfucker leading for the last 100 episodes. This is why we got him leading.
And I say that with someone with a completely intact hairline, and so I don't really know that to be true because my forehead been big, but I also got like a lot of hair. But yo, we love and we appreciate y'all. Keep that shit fucking informal, okay? You can always sponsor us on Anchor. You can always cash app us at hashtag InforMILLy Honest. That's Inform ILLY Honest. Write us at InforMILLy Honest Podcast at gmail.com. And fellas, to commemorate this 100th episode, what you want to leave the people with?
I want to leave the folks with a big fat thank you. Big fat juicy thank you. That's another that's another clip for Adam to use.
Fat
but also,
juicy.
but also keep sending us emails and like keep providing feedback, because what I want to see in the next 100 episodes is more guests, more interesting guests, and perhaps even some of them be, or many of them be, collaborative efforts with other podcast hosts. So reach out to us, tell your friends about us. If 17 people reach out to one person each, we can really do some damage. You never know.
Hey,
that's what I want to see for the next 100 episodes, man.
AJ, what about you?
I also want to see 34 listeners for the next 100 episodes too. No, for real. No, it's really just the same thing. Thank you. Yeah, it's cool because like we put a lot of work into this. So I mean, it's appreciative when you see people. You know what? The other day I was on Facebook and I'm gonna say her name, Marquita asked like, for like podcast recommendations. And I didn't say anything about InforMILLy Honest. I like, if you listen to, true crime, check these out. Mm-hmm. And then, someone else was in that thread. And then Marquita, she recommended our podcast to the other individual. So, and I thanked her at that time, but thank you publicly. Cause you could have just.
Big deal. Yeah. Because you said anything else.
Yeah. So, cause she was the one that asked her podcast recommendation. So, she ended up giving one out. So I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
We appreciate that very much. And all the people that do reach out here and there, being like, hey, I want to be a guest on the podcast. I went to, when I was in New York last, I saw Moni, Felly's twin brother, for those of y'all that have, seen our guests. He works up at the Museum of Ice Cream in Manhattan.
And loves it.
He and people love him.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love that you can clearly see he loves it. I love it, man.
And he was like, man, gotta get me on the podcast, yo. hey.
I'm like, yo, wear the suit too. Come on. Please.
But so we gonna be reaching out to more Gary fam and people who are out here doing big things that we are connected to, but not even so they can try to bring us stuff, but just because I want to just always be able to big up them. And if I could see something within the next 100 episodes, I just want to grow. I just want to grow and be able to provide y'all better stuff. We can't do this shit live. I'm always on the road or something like that. Aaron don't live here. And so I know y'all might be tired of Zoom podcasts. Well, you gonna deal with this motherfucker Zoom podcast,
right?
And appreciate it. God damn it. Biggest thank you I got to give is to y'all gentlemen for sticking in it for these 100 episodes. Can't tell you my appreciation enough. And I will play motherfucking favorites. Adam Davion Johnson.
That's not my name.
I know.
My parents didn't decide to go black the middle name. Kept it white.
I know that's not your real name. I knew that was funny. But no, man. I will always, forever. I know I say it jokingly all the time, but man, you put more work into it than any of us even could. And I need people to recognize and also be grateful for the people, for the 17 of y'all that's audio only. We appreciate the 56 of y'all that occasionally watch on YouTube. And that all of that, the audio, the video, putting all together would not be possible as possible if it was not for all the work that Adam does. And he be balancing, doing this, he in school, he be driving, he still got to, bang his wife from time to time, and like it's lots of balance.
Nightly.
Oh
Nah, I'm
man,
joking.
can we just can we name this episode "Nightly Nuts"?
So all in
just to hold the
all,
balance together.
all in all, thank you, brother, for real, man. I really hope, if we had some money, when we start making money, you're the first one getting paid. I will not. I will argue the other three of us not making shit until we know we're making enough money that you're satisfied, and then we'll split up the rest. Because
I'll take 90. You guys can divvy up the last 10.
Yo, I'm agreeing with everything, and then when Josh came with the money, I'm like, yo, I'm broke. I'm broke. He does that. He does a lot, but I'm broke, dog. He does a lot.
Oh, trust and believe, when we actually
Can we
making
do
money,
70-30? Can we do 80-20? I need gas money, bro. I need gas money, dog. I need gas money. I need gas money, man.
Yo, gas is fuck. No, in real life, when we actually start making money, I'm taking shit off Adam's plate. I'm not like he's not doing. We're not letting you do this much when we're making money. But as long as we ain't making money, get to work.
Oh man,
but
no, he's right though. I definitely I second those sentiments, bro. Much appreciated, for real, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I always joke like Kirsten with this. Like, funny thing is, I'm pretty sure I was the one that was like going hard for the video when we first came up with the idea.
It was you and Marcus.
Yeah, because at the time, I was just watching podcast. Like that was what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a podcast. I don't even do it anymore. But so I kind of put it on myself. So I think part of the reason why I'm like, well, you know what, I'm gonna just press on. It's like, I started it, so it's like I feel like I have to finish. Whether that's true or not, it is what it is. But
you could always be like, you know what, guys, I was wrong.
yeah, that is an option.
Yeah,
that option exists.
Until we hire a producer, we don't have to do this. But
that's true.
But our YouTube numbers have relatively gotten better and whatnot. And so, hey, y'all, it's 2023. Help us get to 100 listeners. If you can get us to 50, we'll start a Patreon. If we can get if we get 3 episodes with more than 50 listeners, I will make a Patreon ourselves, and I will figure out a way for us to make extra episodes. But we get to 100 listeners, I will shave my head or something. No, I'm not shaving my head for 100 listeners, but 100 listeners, I'll get the logo tattooed on me.
Mm. Oh wow!
If we get this to 100, okay. If we get it to 1,000 for the year is over, I'll make sure that y'all can actually see it.
Hey, yeah, bro, I'm definitely getting naked if we make it to 1,000. Sure.
we make it to 1,000, like we make it to 100. Like I'll just tell y'all, like I ain't got to prove that shit. I'll put that shit next to my boss.
But we got 17 very imaginative listeners.
Trust me, if you've been here since day one, you're tired of hearing about my genitalia anyway.
Yeah, you see folks with thought bubbles. You see folks with thought bubbles in front of the head.
But we'll sign off on that. Marco sends his love from the ether, and and yeah, till next time. Every connection that you make, every person that you engage with, and every people that you deal with, I'm gonna remember this at some point.
Every step you take.
Every step. I will. I'm about to repeat it. Go, yeah. Every move you make too. But, we encourage, empower, and implore you to be forthright, to be vulnerable, and most of all, for our last 100, for the next 100, be honest. Peace.
Can't look in the eyes
out,
of
y'all.
my brother without shedding a tear for my brother. I really wanna try for my brother, 'cause I truly do feel for my brother.